What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Thank y'all for the crazy support on all of the socials lately. Absolutely blowing them up, so you guys are the best, and just thank y'all for that. Now, before we get into today's video here, we're gonna go over this giveaway. Thank you to Vast for this nice Pixio 144 hertz monitor here. This thing is gnarly. You'll never miss anything when you're gaming with that 1 millisecond refresh on it, so make sure to hit that link down below to enter into that giveaway. So as you can see right here, we are talking about the Skeleton Key, our artifact for the season of Plunder here. Some very interesting mods that we are going to be able to use and take into King's Fall with us tomorrow. So that's why I've been grinding this out, trying to get that last column unlocked so I can get a couple of those in prep for doing that raid on Friday and just for doing that endgame content in general. So to start out right here, we're going to go over each of the columns, and this is how I built mine out so far for unlocking. And then I'm probably going to go through, and each unlock is going to be the last column for my next 5, just because I like to get out all of my champion mods and little things that'll help more than just targeting and reload, like bad amplitude. So to start off in this first column here, all of our champion mods with weapons. I definitely thought shotgun wasn't going to be as usable as it is for unstoppable, but I have been running that more than I have pulse rifle actually for stunning unstoppables. Now for our anti-barrier, we have 3 different options with scout rifle, auto rifle, and coming back with sniper rifle. That is super exciting to have that, especially mixed with Sundering Glare down in our 5th column over there. But for the most part, for me, I've been running an auto rifle to break those shields. Super easy to just absolutely annihilate them, and it's a good add clear weapon. And then for our overload with the bow and the LMG, Thunderlord is absolutely gnarly right now, and just any LMG throwing it on, definitely super good, so you don't have to waste one of your primary spots. But an overload bow with Trinity Ghoul has been very good for that ad management as well as stunning those champions. So we do have a lot of options in stunning this season. More viable in my opinion with the ad clear and stunning than sometimes in the past. Now moving on to the second column, we got Scout Loader with a sword scav. Obviously I did the sword scav so we can get those ammo back, especially going through Duality Dungeon with Lament or with our Whirlwind Blade Falling Guillotine. Definitely running this on my legs. I thought about unlocking Machine Gun Holster to pair with Thunderlord and our Overload mods, but instead I decided to go into our 3rd column because it unlocks after we hit our 5, basically from just doing our 1st column completely. Now for my PvP mains out there, we do got Scout and Sniper targeting together, which is nice for those cracked out Eye of Soul users or Adored. Now down here we have our 2 intrinsic origin perks on weapons with Right Hook and Runneth Over, and then with Bottomless Bounty 2 we have Soul Drinker, which is from Vow of the Disciple weapons, as well as Hot Swap. Now, like I said, I picked up these 3 because they come more in handy for me with doing some of that endgame PvE content than something like sniper targeting would for PvP, just because that's not really how I play. So Machine Gun Scav, Thermoplastic Shock, so reduces solar and arc. That is really nice. Then we also have Focusing Strike, Glance class ability energy when causing melee strikes. This has been used for me on my Hunter, so I can use some Liar Handshake and get some Gambler's Dodge going, and it's just a repetitive Focusing Strike instead of having to spend a 3 on this, I believe it is. So very nice to have this on there. Next off, we have the Glaive Loader reloader, which just plays in with scout. Not really anything too special. It seems to be reloading fine, and I don't really use reloaders ever. Like I talked about before, we have overload and anti-barrier right here for machine gun and sniper respectively, so definitely unlocked those immediately as soon as I could. This whole fourth column right here, especially this bad amplitude, causing damage to a champion with an arc ability, causes that champion to become jolted, which is nice, almost like a scorch, but it has that arc vibe to it where it's doing a little bit of damage and sending off those little jolts of electricity that damage enemies nearby. We also unlocked 2 different ways to stun champions in our abilities, with arc grenades disrupting overloads, and then we have our solar melee disrupting unstoppables. Just another versatility for going into some of that later end game with different options for stunning champions, so you can use weapons that you would like to use, like a rocket launcher or a sword, instead of having to use an LMG to stun overloads. You can just use your grenade here, something along those lines. Now, most importantly, we have this 5th column, which is always the best in my opinion for mods, minus maybe a couple inside of this region that we get every season. But to start off on the top, we got Thunderous Retort. Grants bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded or well amplified. That is nuts for both Thunder Crash in my opinion, as well as our Chaos Reach, just because becoming amplified is so easy with arc. It is just going to proc this instead of having to get critically wounded like we did before. Next off, we have Amped Up, Stay Amplified a little bit longer. This could be paired with Thunderous Retort, so we can become amplified and then rip supers, plus amplified with that speed boost to our ability running around, as well as our handling. It is nuts how easy it is and how much this gets procced with amplified. Next off, we have Trace Evidence, defeating combatants affected by arc debuffs. So that is our blinded and jolted. Spawn ionic traces. So this is going to be nice for getting our abilities back, because when we collect those ionic traces, it helps feed to our arc ability energies. Next off, for grenades, we got Lightning Strikes twice. After throwing an arc grenade, you gain increased grenade recharge rate for a short period of time. Arc Final Blows extend the duration of this benefit. This could be absolutely gnarly for some grenade spam builds coming out in the future here once I get it unlocked. It is a lot of energy at 7, but we'll see what we can do with this, especially extending that duration with Arc Final Blows. And then finally, one of the most requested, and everyone's happy that it is coming back, is Sondering Glare right here. So we have rapid precision hits against a distant combatant, weakens them for a short time. So pairing our anti-barrier sniper with this Sondering Glare is a very easy way to wipe out those champions instantly, especially with something like Izanagi's. Hitting that consistent precision headshots is super nice, even with our anti-barrier scouts. So definitely this is probably going to be my first one that I pick up, just because it works on things that aren't even champions. So maybe during this raid, sit back on some of our mini bosses and bosses, do that sniper damage or scout rifle damage, and then just everybody else do some crazy DPS. So hopefully this helped you guys kind of plan out what artifact mods you guys are going to want. Definitely go with champion mods, as many as you can, followed by these 3 right here are very important to me, and then this bad amplitude in our 4th column, and then as soon as you can, unlock this last column and get into all of those. That's just the way I'm going to do it, the way I play PvE mostly instead of PvP. So a PvP lord might want this sniper targeting to make it a little bit easier to snipe off them domes. So thank you guys so much for watching and that support lately. Truly means a lot to me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.